Good morning and welcome. This is my first video using a tripod, so let's see what we can do. I'm going to talk today about my Project Life album. This is my 2010. I do all my albums for Project Life in a 12 by 12 format. This is my 11th year of doing Project Life. So I just wanted to give you a bit of a guided tour through the first 4 months, giving you some hints and tips of what I do and how I try and make this process easier for myself. And if there's any hints or tips you'd recommend, if you could add them to the comments, that would be perfect. I'm always happy to be able to tweak this process to make it work for me. So every month I use the same page protector as this one. There's American Crafts and Becky Higgins have both designed them in the past. If for some reason they didn't do this page protector, I would still use this format even if it was a 12 by 12, and I would split it up into 6 4 by 6s. I just find this works for me. I limit the size of the photos that I use, and you'll see that as we go through the album, so we'll pick that up again in a moment. What I do want to draw your attention to, I don't do it by weeks. I've never done my life by weeks. I've always done it by months. So you'll find that every month starts with just a plain card. I cut all my cards generally on the silhouette. I cut them at the beginning of the year or even just before, and then I just store them so that I know that that is already sorted as I start each month. I work a month behind so that I can gather the photos from my children, because this is, for me, this is a family orientated photo diary. Lots of people use it for different things, but anyway, I'll show you as we go through. So welcome to January 2010. First thing we did just after Christmas was go on a holiday. So this is what you can see here. I don't actually stamp the dates on anything, but I do use the chronological order. I use some photo apps, as you can see here, for these two to make collages. Let's turn the page. So this is still all January. So the holiday was actually a week long, but it actually took 2 full sides. I will give as much or as little space, depending on how I feel this an event or an activity affects us as a family. I use a lot of small photos, either square or rectangular, and these are literally not quite 4 by 3, but just so that they fit on the background. As you see, I like a nice mixed range of photographs on each page. I'll also say is that I quite often draw it out on pencil in advance so that I can fit everything in, just so I've got an idea how many pages. So this month so far we're looking at 1 2 3, might be even 4 pages, so that's 8 sides. The next month might have been no activity, nothing happening, and it could only be 2 pages with 4 sides, and I change that. I don't have very strict parameters. I try and integrate ephemera. So for example, somebody cut this, Jackie cut this for me when she gave me this book, and I've actually popped it in 2 places because I wanted to use that. Receipts, cinema tickets, you'll find, there we are, there's a cinema ticket. This is from a restaurant, and it's part of their business card. So that I've put that in. So there, that's the end of January. Next month, similar format. As you can see, cut out onto a card. I like to just keep them simple so it's very obvious where each month starts and finishes. I mentioned the photo collages. I make these on my phone. I use a couple of apps that I can add to the comments just so I can get more pictures in. I'm definitely photo orientated. I'm a visual learner. I mean, the documentation is there, and I do try and write on everything what is happening, because otherwise it's just a photograph and it's not a documentation of our memories. But I am definitely a visual person. I like to stick something to everything. That's what you'll find as you look through this. Everything has something written and something else. It might just be a dot, it might just be a sticker. These are knife and fork from a punch. This is actually out of a pamphlet from the event, bit of washi tape. I'm very conscious of keeping my embellishments flat. I like to put 6 months into one D-ring album. So each year has 2 albums, and that's the way I've worked for the last 10 years. So here we are. This is the start of March. Same thing again. So one thing I'll highlight, the paper at the back in the actual pockets. To me, that's just scrapbooking paper. That is not cards. I find it is a great way of using up scrapbooking paper that I don't actually use, or it's at the end of a range that I like it. I try and link them with colour or pattern. So there's a stripy one here, and that's got the teal and the peach in, but they're not necessarily the same manufacturers. But I feel that they go together as a good base. The cards the majority are Project Life cards. I picked them up online. I've bought sets in the past. I don't use that many of them because of the size of my photographs, but I do use a few. So this is the continuation of March. You'll find there's a theatre ticket here that I like to add in. So the next thing is there's quite a lot of words and alphas. So I have a box where I keep all my flat words and alphas that I can just reach them, put the box on my desk, and when I start to do the Project Life, I can add them in. I've got some stickers where you get from places like Paper Chase, that sort of thing, that I wouldn't normally use necessarily in my scrapbook albums, but are perfect for Project Life. Some of the photos, they're not actually mine. So these are screenshots off Facebook or off the TV, because there's something that desperately needs to be documented. Obviously, when we went into lockdown, that is something I would want to include. I've integrated our COVID situation into my Project Life. I haven't done a separate album. I believe it's part of the life that I'm living. And in the future, this album will be different because of the things that it's covered. So there's quite a bit about the NHS for whom I work, but also there's real life as well. What I will say is I put the majority of our life is in this book, and it's happy and sad. I do document everything. If I feel that it's not appropriate, sometimes I will put a tag inside the pocket behind the photographs if there is something I really want to express, but I don't want people to notice it when they're first flicking through. So I don't leave out the bad things. Otherwise it's not a representation of our life. So this is April. This is the last month I'll show you for the moment. It's great for using up numbers and the ends of some thickers to document birthdays, that sort of thing. These journaling spots, I have some on that I actually print off myself. They've been freebies online. Hey Little Magpie, I've done one recently, and they're great because you can keep printing them, keep cutting them out. I quite often print off a few sheets at a time, and then I cut them out in front of the TV. As long as you've got a tray or something to stop your chibbling bits all over your lap, it works perfectly. A few here you might find that is specific to our situation. You only have to Google free print journaling cards for COVID, and there's lots that pop up online that are free for you to print. I've added here a note that my daughter left me in my lunchbox, which is really important. That's actually got washi tape at the top. It's a lift the flap, so I've hidden how I felt about that and some interesting views on my job. Yet again, something off the internet. COVID, things we've been cooking, things that I wouldn't necessarily have so many pictures of food, but I do like to take them. But it's actually because that's something that we're doing a lot of. And this brings me to the end of March. I will share further months with you at another time. I hope you've enjoyed my talk through of the first 4 months of this year. If you have any questions, please let me know, and I will be happy to answer anything. Till next time, take care.